Hello viewers, welcome you back today for my today's session. In my previous one, I have introduced you to the modal auxiliary verbs and I gave you a list of 13 models, and today I am going to tell you how these modal verbs are useful and how they are different from other auxiliary verbs. The day I said we use models because they speak of the mood of the person, and especially in spoken English we use the models more. For example, if you say give me water, that sounds rude. In other way, if you ask will you give me water, that will be like a little polite one. And if you say, can you give me water? Little more polite. Could you give me water? Still more polite. So, our spoken etiquette depends on the way how we use modal verbs. I think I have given you an idea about the uses of modals, why we have to learn them thoroughly. In fact, modal verbs is a very huge topic. It can be taught for days and days, but I don't want to confuse you. As I mentioned earlier, I would just like to give you a gist of modal verbs and usually, prominently, where we use them. So coming back to, I said, first I want to mention the difference between the other auxiliaries I mentioned earlier. That is, earlier in my videos, one day I mentioned about be forms, other day I mentioned about have forms, then yet another day I mentioned about these auxiliaries. Modal verbs are also auxiliaries, but they are different from these auxiliaries. I want you to know these auxiliaries are called primary auxiliaries. Even if you don't remember the word, leave it. But the difference is the be forms, the have forms, the do forms. They can act as the main verb of the sentence also. I repeat, the be forms, the have forms, the do forms, they can act as the main verb of your sentence as well as the auxiliary. For example, I am sorry, I am using small letters. In the sentence, I am a teacher. I itself is the main verb. In the sentence, I am teaching. Am is the auxiliary here. Teach is the main verb. Am is the auxiliary. In the same way, the have forms also can be used as both as the main verb and auxiliary. If I say, I have a two-wheeler, in that sentence, I have a two-wheeler, have is the main verb. If I say, I have sold my two-wheeler, have is the helping verb, that's auxiliary, and sold is the main verb. Same is the case with the do forms. I don't like it. Do is the helping verb. It is acting as auxiliary verb. In a sentence, I don't like it. Do is the auxiliary. Like is the main verb. In the sentence, I do it every day. There, do is the main verb. I think you have understood that these verbs, be, have and do forms of auxiliaries, they act as main verb as well as auxiliary verb. Now, you will understand that these models, which list I have given you the other day, they cannot be used as the main verb of any sentence. You please try. You cannot say, I will. There should be some sentence before that. Suppose I will ask you, will you do that? You may say, I will. But it is understood, I will do it. But you cannot use will just like that. I will give, I will do, I will see, I will answer, etc. Same is the case with any verb. Should. I should do that. You must go. Okay. You can do it, or you may come. So if you take any one of these modal auxiliaries, they cannot be used as the main verb. They can be used only as the helping verb. I think now you have understood the difference between the other groups of auxiliaries and the modal verbs. Okay, fine. If you are fine with that, I come back to these modals: need to, dare to, used to. We call them semi-modals. We call them semi-modals because they act as the main verb. They act as the main verb means they can be written in the present or past, especially these two. For example, if I say first person is the subject, I say I need to do it. Suppose I am using the subject third person, she, then I say she needs to do it. I think you understood. When I say she, that will be needs. When I say I, it will be need. When I say past tense, I say I needed to do it. But the other models, they don't change their form. You try. I can do it, she can do it, we can do it, they can do it. So whatever is the subject, we use the same form, whereas need to, dare to, their form changes as I have mentioned here. So some grammarians refers to them as semi-modals. I think now you have understood. I am sorry if I am repeating things. I want to tell you modal verbs before I explain in detail, before I would give you an idea in detail about each model and their usage. I thought I would mention they are important in our spoken etiquette. They make our language more appreciable, more presentable, more acceptable. And I told you the difference between the other auxiliaries and the modal auxiliaries, and the semi-modals like need to, dare to, I have mentioned, and I have also mentioned that must can be used as a noun also. I repeat, if you are a student, examination is a must for you. So here must is the noun. You must write exams. Must is the auxiliary. Okay. I think with this I conclude my today's video. In my upcoming videos, I will be mentioning in detail in what context will is used, what do we mean by using will, what do we mean by using shall, what do we mean by using must. So each model will be taken up separately. One day, 2 to life, I try to finish. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to watch, share, subscribe. I told earlier, the advantage or benefit of subscription is you will be getting a notification whenever a new video is uploaded. Thank you.